gentlemen, welcome to the Ross Patterson Revolution!
What a beautiful day. Look at the Jablers. This is what do you got going on in your hair today? Why don't you describe to the audience what you got, Jables?
This is a little French braid.
Is it?
Yeah.
That's real nice.
And once I put on the headphones, I look very man-like. So I just wanted to show
that you are a woman.
The people first that I am a woman.
A woman.
With skills, too.
A whoa, man.
Whoa,
why?
man.
Why do you think that you look different with the headphones on?
I don't know. It covers up your...
You feel dudeish is what you're saying?
Yeah, it's a masculine look, for sure. Huge headphones.
Huge headphones.
Yeah.
You know what I find weird about it? Ever since the dawn of the Beats headphones.
Yeah.
And those other 50-cent ones.
Yeah.
Those are huge headphones that people used to wear in the 80s walking around because there was no other form of headphones. So you were forced to wear these gigantic things around. Then, as it progressed into the 80s and 90s, the headphones got really smaller, but it was still kind of fuzzy at the end. And then the Apple headphones came out, and they're they're little. They just fit in your ear. But I have a big ear hole. And
you can't do the buds.
They always fall out. They always fall out.
People.
And then now they've got those weird AirPods, which are total bullshit to me. It's like wearing earrings that there is no clasp, but it's those will never stay in.
I'm actually yet to see someone wearing those.
Me neither.
I have never seen it.
I saw one person in an airport.
Obviously.
And they were Asian. And
in an airport,
but obviously, and I'm not saying in a negative way, Asians are way ahead of the technology.
For sure. Maybe it's going to be more of a...
So, I guess, but it looked weird. Because it's just something hanging out of your ear where you're like, man, that looks strange. That does not look like a cool Jetsons gadget from the future.
Yeah.
It's can we just ditch that or, why did it have to have the dangly part? Couldn't you just put the little bud inside your ear?
Well, then there's I don't know, fear of losing it
I guess,
in the
but
ear,
you're already
maybe?
kind of losing it.
Yeah.
And now we've reverted back with, Beats by Dre to these huge ass headphones. And it's weird, because I've now gotten used to it and everybody else wears them. So it's just I'm kind of used to it. When I go to the gym, though, can't wear Beats by Dre. Too big. They're too fucking big when I'm running or I'm on the treadmill.
Really?
When you're getting super sweaty, it's then you have this huge, headset on, this huge set of speakers on top of your head, and you're just sweating with them on, and you got to wipe that off, and it's an awkward thing. I like the little tiny things that wrap around the ear and you're good to go.
Yeah.
But look, I like the quality of them.
The Beats sound
nice.
Awesome, and they look cool, I guess. But when I'm wearing them, I feel weird.
I feel weird, and I feel disconnected from the world. I feel like I'm shutting out the world because once they go on, it's all right, I can't hear shit outside the world. When I'm listening to music, when I'm listening to my Ed Sheeran, I'm kidding.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I would never
is
Ginger Bush that motherfucker up.
It feels weird when you're listening to the music that you're listening to. I'm not gonna say what it might be.
Sure,
but it feels like I should be listening to hip hop or something.
When you've got the gigantic headphones on?
I feel weird if it's
By the way, that new Kendrick Lamar, big fan. Big fan of King Ken.
Yes, you are.
Boy, that new album's dope. Big fan. But by the way, did you see that DNA video?
No.
Oh boy, it's him and Don Cheadle. Just came out the other day. Him and Don Cheadle in an interrogation room. Don Cheadle starts gangster rapping back.
Cheadle's a boss.
Kendrick's verses.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going back and forth rapping his own song with Don Cheadle, and I was like, oh shit, I didn't know Don Cheadle got down on Kendrick Lamar. 1, 2, to memorize that song. When you hear that song DNA, you'll be like, what the fuck? I mean, it's so fast. I don't know how he memorized the song in time for the video.
I wonder if
pretty crazy.
I wonder if he contacted him.
Dude,
I'm a huge
I was thinking of that too. I wonder how that works. Does Don Cheadle contract? Because both of them are very well respected.
Right.
So who's who on that one? Who's zooming who on that one, Jabes?
I don't know.
Who's calling who? I'm gonna say Kendrick called Don Cheadle.
I'm going to say the other way around.
No.
Yeah, like I'm
You
a
think
weird.
Cheadle called?
Yeah, and it was like, I'm a weird fan or told, like if I was at Cheadle's level, I love just calling him Cheadle because we
Cheeds.
kick it, Cheed dog.
Cheat Dog Millionaire?
I would just call up cool people and be like, hey, dude, I love you. Like, can we do something together? Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
I think-
I would too.
I think Cheadle's someone that like, did Kendrick Lamar like think of him? You always forget of Cheadle. You always forget about him. So Cheadle has to come to you.
Yeah, I wonder in that sitch.
I mean, we have an open invitation to him, obviously, but
Oh, to Cheeds, yeah.
Cheed
If Cheeds
Dog.
wants to come on the show, dude, we'll have Cheadle on.
Cheadle fingers.
Cheadle D. Cheadle diddly,
Cheadle diddly,
Cheadle diddly, Yeah, Don Cheadle. That song's for you. Kendrick Lamar, if you want to use that as just a background beat, feel free to rip that.
I think
That is
that's-
a royalty free, what we just gave you.
No, that's the opening to Driving Miss Daisy.
Is it really?
Diddle diddle diddle, screedle diddle diddle, diddle diddle
Well,
diddle.
that's our own interpretation, obviously. That's not the real words to that.
What's
So,
this real song? Listen, I don't want to get in trouble because it's dead on.
Driving
If people
Miss Daisy.
yeah, if
You
people
big
listen-
Driving Miss Daisy fan? You listen?
I did love. I was a Tandy fan, Jessica Tandy.
Shut the fuck up.
No, I was a huge Tandy fan. Fried green tomatoes.
Are you being serious?
No, I'm being serious. She's
You are a
great.
hardcore Tandy
Batteries
fan?
not included.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boy, you just busted out the
Cocoon,
Tandy
I think
hits.
she was in Cocoon.
Yeah. Wow.
Those were the times when
no
older gals.
No one has said I am a diehard Tandy fan.
There's people out there. People, where are you at? Where's my Tandy
come
fans?
on.
Yeah, they're the
Where's
fans.
my Tandy fans?
Tandy
Yo, where's
crew.
my Tandy fans at, son?
Yeah, we're called the Tandy Mans. The Tandy Man can. Where's all my Tandy Nation? Yeah, dude. Yeah.
If anyone writes in #Tandy Nation, I
But you
would
have
be
to really be a Tandy
shocked.
fan, you guys. You
Yeah.
have to really know your Tandies.
yeah,
Stop.
because you just bursted out like her entire filmography. You really are a
Someone's back
Tandy
in
fan.
I am. I love Tandy is solid, dude.
Yeah, well, she's dead now, so
Was
yeah,
was
yeah,
I
she
mean, well,
was.
she was big in like the end of her life, so of course she's not around anymore.
sure.
She was an elder,
Sure.
an elder actor.
Yeah. You think she made it as an older actress? Or-
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't remember young Tandy. Do
No,
you?
well, it
Tandy's
would have been in
never
the
been young.
1800s.
Yeah,
so
Tandy's
it
never
would have been
young.
during the silent era, the
Yeah.
silent films. So
Mhm.
the fact that your love of Tandy is as strong, something I didn't know about you, something I'm glad I do
There
know
happens
now.
to be a lot about me that you don't know.
Yeah.
Mr. Smarty Man.
Yeah, and I think the audience at home now is going to be super
We
excited.
lost another 50,000.
Yeah, we lost
Listen,
another 50,000 listeners
Tandy.
to Tandy. Your #Tandy Nation.
Tandy Nation.
Hashtag the
Ranch and
the
Tandy.
Tandy Mans.
Just Ranch and Tandy. I like to just cozy up to
Oh boy, a little ranch
batteries
and Tandy.
not included. Two.
Jesus.
Cocoon.
Driving Miss Daisy.
You
You know I get down on Morgan Freeman, obviously.
Yeah, so that's
yeah.
like the best. That's like our two favorite people together.
Miss Daisy.
Mhm.
I gotta take you to Piggly Wiggly.
Now listen, Nick. My Nick.
It kind of that movie was kind of super racist from what I
Super
remember.
racist.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
surprised that
But it was in the era.
that movie would never fly today. You know that, right? Driving Miss
yeah,
Daisy would never
maybe not.
happen.
Well,
today.
if you said it in the right time, which they did, I think maybe it was a little too modern to have that much racism.
a black driver driving a crotchety old white woman.
Yeah, that's like
in the
super
South, right?
racist.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't
Mhm.
think that movie would fly today.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't. When,
Yeah, that
when
pitch,
was?
like as you're pitching that to me, I'm like, yeah, no, we can't do that.
No. You definitely can't
Yeah,
do that now.
yeah.
I don't know who would want to play that. I
Yeah,
think
who
now,
would be
I
signing
wouldn't
up?
be surprised if they remade it and a white
Oh,
man was
reboot.
driving a black lady and
No, actually, it would be a black lady driving
A white man.
Yeah, so they'd have to switch it up, or like a white lady driving
Octavia
a successful
Spencer?
black man. Yeah,
Sure.
I think something like that.
Who knows?
They'd have to switch gender, race all over the place.
Yeah, you definitely a transgender. Somebody transgender's got to be a driver. Yeah, you never know. Look, wow, it was a weird conversation to start. I was not expecting that. We have some sponsors who pay for this to be on the air. Not anymore. So this is the last day of our sponsors, I'm sure. But first and foremost is straightrazors.com. Fuck, kids. I'm just, every time I know I give them so much shine, but I literally can't wait to wake up and shave my face, only because it smells delightful. Like the aftershave, #1 ranks in the world. The cologne, #1 ranks in the world. They've got shampoos, conditioners, beard oils, you name it. Everything a real man needs to shave. And their straight razors are the finest in the biz. Here's the thing. Since I started using them, I don't pay for razors anymore. I just sharpen the straight razor, and I'm good to go. I've had that straight razor now for
you also
like
don't
a year.
Complain about shaving, which you
I
always
know.
were like.
I always
hurt.
used to complain about shaving. I was like, I'm never gonna shave.
Yeah.
Just because I just don't fucking dig it. Now I do, and I'm like, it's only because of this. And I know that sounds crazy, but
no, there's people out there with jobs that they have to shave every day, and it's
annoying. But
annoying.
nobody. I don't think anybody enjoys shaving. Now I do, and it's like I never would have known. Go to straightrazors.com. Type in the promo code REVOLUTION. You get 20% off. Straightrazors.com. Type in the promo code REVOLUTION. 20% off. Genuinely a huge fan of these guys. All of their stuff is in my house, and I actually buy it. And next up, we got StrikeForceEnergy.com.
no.
Jables.
Oh, no.
Let's go to the wide. Bing, bing.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
I needed it. I needed it today. I just need it. StrikeForceEnergy.com is the tastiest, tiniest little tin pouch of energy you can possibly get. Them shits is 99 cents. They got a box. Boom, box of 10. They got the 750 milliliter bottle. It goes in anything, actually. Waters, beers, Kool-Aids, liquids, liquors, you name it, it's in there. Go to StrikeForceEnergy.com. Type in the promo code REVOLUTION. You get 20% off. Better than 5-hour energy. You don't need the fucking cans anymore. You don't have to carry around Red Bull, all that other shit. This just goes in anything, and you can just turn and burn. Boom, boom. Big fan of StrikeForceEnergy.com. Again, the promo code is REVOLUTION. 20% off. They ship everywhere in the entire world. How crazy is that?
Crazy.
Where's the furthest place you've been in this world? What country?
Furthest place?
Ecuador.
Yeah.
All right.
Panama, probably.
Panama. They ship to Panama.
Yeah. A lot of places, a lot of things do.
Well,
it's right
through the canal. Strike Force ships right to your door in Panama.
Really?
So don't be afraid.
Wow.
If you're Panamanian and you're watching this show at home or listening abroad, StrikeForceEnergy.com. Type in the promo code REVOLUTION. 20% off. They'll ship it right to your door. Last but not least, we got the finest novel ever written. At night she cries while he rides a steed. The first ever romance novel for dudes. James, can I get a horse noise? Oh boy, we just sold 60 more books from that.
Yep.
60 more books.
It's a shame that you have me do the sound effect because it actually is an amazing book.
It is.
And I'm sorry that people aren't buying it because of my
No, they're buying it.
Sound.
Look, a lot of people are buying it, so I'm amped about that.
Good.
And it's probably because of your noise.
Thank you.
By the way, we're also a lot of people comment on this. We're joined by Lieutenant Dan.
As always.
As always, Lieutenant Dan. Always a huge fan. We appreciate him stopping by every single episode. For those people listening to the audio show, I've got a wheelchair next to me with Lieutenant Dan sitting in it.
But from the New Year's.
From the New Year's party.
Yeah. Because he has
very
the little
specific
hat. Yeah, it's a very specific, depressed Lieutenant Dan.
I like my Lieutenant Dan
when he was
depressed.
in New York, yeah.
Yeah, I like him depressed.
Hating life.
Yeah, that was my favorite Lieutenant Dan.
Oh, yeah.
The happy version when he got his new magic legs.
Nerd.
I was just like,
Nerd.
And then he married that weird Asian woman when I was just like, come on, man. I wanted him to marry that prostitute from New Year's Eve. Is that selfish of me?
Oh, yeah.
I think that would have been a nice
He was just
storyline.
drinking straight whiskey. He was fun. He was like a good time.
A blast. The guy was a
Just
fucking blast.
rolling around on
Yeah.
the ground.
But it was a fucking blast.
Yeah.
I wanted to see him end up with that prostitute in that movie.
Oh,
I did. I thought that would have been a nice
That
thing.
would have been. Yeah, he
Of
shows
like,
up.
oh, hey, the girl who threw him on the ground on New Year's Eve
Right.
came back and was like, you know what? I
Oh.
realized the error in my ways. I'm proud of you and your shrimp boat abilities.
Right.
I want to marry you now. And then him in turn being like, oh,
You know
well,
what?
whore. I'm sorry that you were such a whore, and then I treated you like a whore, and that people paid you to have sex with men. I want to take you off these whore streets and de-horrify you.
This is a beautiful story.
Yeah, I think that would have been a nice ending.
Yeah.
And then
I'm
Tom
a sucker.
Hanks,
I'm a sucker for the love stories.
I
Right?
know, a hooker with a heart of gold. Then Tom Hanks, as Forrest Gump at the end of it, when he showed up at the wedding for the Jenny wedding, yeah, you go, oh, Lieutenant Dan, you brought your whore. You brought your whore with you. You married your whore. Yeah. Yeah. And that would have been
I like that scene. And when scored like that, that's great. You brought
Yeah,
your
that would have
whore.
been.
You were gonna keep going, and I was gonna do the score.
You brought your whore with you, and he's like, yeah, I had to. Forrest, we all make life choices, and one of my life choices was to get new legs and also take this whore off the streets of New York and marry her. And that would have been a beautiful
I
wedding
love
ceremony.
That. And scene. I love that.
Yeah, it would have been a great wedding ceremony and a raucous party. I'm sure that wedding party for Forrest Gump would have been a crazy thing.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of a raucous party, did you see that picture that's floating around with Ted Nugent, Sarah Palin, and Kid Rock at the White House? Oh, it's amazing. It's
It is
amazing.
Yes.
Who would have ever thought in their life that you would have seen not only one of them in a picture with the president of the White House, any president, but all three of them inside the White House at the same time?
Yeah.
Nuge, Ted Nugent, the Motor City Madman, Sarah Palin, who actually ran. She was a vice presidential candidate at one point. Still seems strange to say that out loud.
And we weren't like too bummed about that.
Yeah, it's funny to hear John McCain come out and talk all of his shit now every single day against Trump and the presidency, when it's like, hey, bro, you kind of lost your fucking card on that years ago when you asked Sarah Palin to be your running mate.
You can't really talk about using any kind of celebrity or
it's like, bro, you lost
tricks.
your you lost your cool card a long time ago. Kid Rock though was my fave.
I always thought maybe I would see him because he's not cleaning up, but he's like one of those like salt of the earth dudes. I know he's probably super racist and like awful, but
no, he's not
like
actually. He's from Detroit, and he
seems
grew
like
up
a
in
normal,
rap.
Yeah.
So he grew up doing like all black clubs and DJing all black clubs, and so like I don't think he's
gives
racist.
back to communities.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't
just,
think
like,
he's
made
racist at all.
No.
I think.
Well, I like him then, and so I would expect to see him with any president. Really, I was like, I'm sure he didn't go for Obama or anything to the White House.
Kid Rock? Fuck no. Are you kidding me? He always played for Romney and he's always been a staunch Republican through and through. He never wavered on that.
Okay.
And if he runs for Congress, which there is or Senate, I believe of
he would win.
I think he would of Michigan.
He would win.
I think he would.
But he does a lot for that state. Like even without being a politician,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But to see the three of them there inside the White House was shocking, to say the least. Shocking.
Yeah. And then
Especially,
they took a little selfie in front of Hillary.
Oh, that was beautiful. That was the three of them took a selfie laughing in front of Hillary Clinton's painting, which was real hilarious.
Hilarious. Real funny.
Really funny.
I mean, they just laughed and
had a blast because it's like, hey, we're inside the White House, and it was really, really like, can't believe
this
they did
bitch dedicated her life to it. It's like, fuck her, right?
Who took the picture? Is my
question.
Who took the picture? And who is the White House photographer who gets to take all these pictures? Because somebody
wasn't a
professional
great
took
picture, though.
that picture. Not the
It was
selfie.
weird. Oh, okay.
Not the selfie, but
there's an actual picture.
There's a picture of them. The
That's
picture that I'm referring to of Ted Nugent, Sarah Palin, and Kid Rock is actually inside the Oval Office with Trump.
Okay.
So they were inside the Oval Office hanging out. Kid Rock had a, I don't want to say, it was like a flipped up fedora type thing.
His signature flipped up
fedora, which I dig.
Yeah.
Look, I dig Kid Rock.
Me too.
I like him. Ever since we went to see that concert, I was like, holy shit, Kid Rock's amazing.
Ever since I saw him on Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives.
Was he really on there?
Mm-hmm.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, and he did like a tour of his brewery that he opened in Detroit.
Oh,
and,
yeah, that's right. He's got his own beer.
Tour. Yeah, and like took him to all these small businesses, and it was fucking cool, actually.
He seems like
a really good guy.
Dude.
Yeah.
He's a good dude.
Yeah. Fieri, on the other hand.
Fieri. If I saw Fieri in the White House, I'd be furious.
You'd be super pissed.
I'd be fucking furious if Fieri was in there.
Furious. Fieri. Yeah.
Like when I saw him at the NBA All-Star game with Craig Sager's wife, like kind of hitting on her, and it's like you could tell he was kind of hitting on her in like mid-conversation. You're like,
really?
Come on, Fieri. You fuck.
It's just how he talks and looks.
Classic Fieri.
He's like, I'm not flirting. It's just how I look and talk.
Oh, boy.
I'm just like nice
Look
to
up
everyone.
the picture. I implore you at home. Look up the picture of Guy Fieri before he dyed his hair and grew.
Oh, it's a great.
You
posted it, right?
I did. I posted it.
It's on your Instagram, I think.
A goatee. It's amazing. It's on my Instagram. It's at ST James. Really fucking funny. Because you're like, oh, you were total dork patrol, and now you're fucking cool driving a Thunderbird or whatever the fuck he drives.
Yeah.
But as I looked at those pictures in the White House, in particular, Kid Rock's fiance, who looks kind of like a porn star, might have been a stripper at some point.
He has a type. Listen,
he's got a very specific type.
He's got a very specific type, and there's nothing wrong with that.
It's a younger brunette version of a Pamela Anderson type thing.
Sure,
And
that's what I would expect.
To see them in the picture with the president of the United States.
Did she cover him
gives
up
me hope.
or anything?
No, she let the. Well, it was a tight dress. It was a tight black dress.
Sure.
She let the girls out.
Yeah, not one day, not even when we're going to the fucking White House.
It gives me hope.
Okay.
That maybe you and I will be invited to the White House one day. Because if they can go.
You think?
I think so.
That would be awesome.
I think so. I'm not going to shut the door on us being at the White House one day. I'm not going to close the door on that.
We have a little bit of an in, right?
We do. Well, we'll see. We'll see. And if the new book comes out, ends up being number one, I think we would have a really good shot. So when Matt Best, Freedom the Fuck On, comes out this fall, that's when it's time to really turn up the juices with the publicist and try to into the White House. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I'd like to get my pick there, and I'd boss up in front of Hillary and be like, yeah, I would. She was a meaner lady. I believe she got her just desserts on this one. I'm not a big Hillary fan. Hillary fan, obviously.
I know.
But
I'm not a huge fan either. I don't know if she was like a horrible person.
That's what I heard she was. That's the rumor. That's the rumor
just
going around.
Just like to people working for her and
everybody
stuff?
working for her said she was the worst. And the rumor is, by the way, that all that shit that leaked on her right before the election and all that other stuff was that the FBI hated her and they were leaking it themselves.
Okay.
And they just didn't want to work for her for another fucking 8 years because let's face it, she'd been in the White House for fucking 30 years at that point. So
again, I'm not a huge fan. I'm just
it is what it is. But it got me thinking, like, who would we want to party with at the White House?
Like living?
Yeah. Living wise, if we got invited for a dinner or a get together like that. Who would you want to bring with you? Would you want to bring your friends? Would you want to bring celebrities? Who do you think would have the most fun there?
Oh yeah, because you could call celebrities and be like, "Hey, I can invite whoever
I
want to bring."
I get a couple passes, like because I have.
Well, Tandy's dead, so
I have some celebrity friends of mine who saw the pictures of us with Trump and those guys, and they were like, "Hey, man."
What's going on?
I would like to go with you.
Oh, okay.
So they were like, I'm down. I got one buddy I would like to take.
Who would you want to take to party then?
I think it would be here's the thing. I think it would be my close friends.
Oh, okay. That's the nice answer.
No.
I was going to say
only because my
like,
close friends fucking party where it's like I don't want to take people who wouldn't have a good time and enjoy it like I would, because inside the White, if I get to go in there, I want to do the weird shit. Like I want to do the the fucked up shit. Like everybody's got their own little dreams and what they would do inside the White House. Big fan of the comedian David Cross, obviously Mr. Show with Bob and Dave. He talks about how he, got to go to the White House Correspondents' Dinner and go inside the White House and all that shit. And he was like, they were like, what did you do? And he was just like, I took coke in and I did coke in there. Just because he wanted to say that he did coke in the White House. And you were like, oh, that's weird. That's a weird thing to
I would take
do.
Daniel Day-Lewis, and then I would take a picture with him by the picture of Lincoln.
And say, which one's which?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just be like, went to the White House with Lincoln.
I like that.
No, but that wouldn't be fun. He would be the most, I don't think he would be fun at all. He'd be way
That'd
too
be a boring
serious.
guest.
Yeah. He'd be working on some role where he had to be mute and not talk. And
yeah. He'd be playing. He'd be playing a deaf guy for 5 years.
So
for a movie that
Daniel,
for a movie that's not shooting until 2030. Yeah. No. No, I think it'd be close friends who rage is my thing.
Okay.
It would have to be.
I'd bring Hillary.
Oh God, could you imagine? That'd be fucking terrible.
No. No, she wouldn't go.
Do you have because all your friends are boring? Did you have close friends?
That's rude.
I'm kidding, but it's kind of true.
It's not true.
You don't have the rager friends. You don't have the rager let's get rip roaring. Let's enjoy it.
You can't do that after a certain point in your life.
But I think so. I would, because I would definitely vet my list of friends of who could hold their shit, who could hold their shit together but also have a good time. The weird thing
who would that be?
Well, here's the thing. The weird thing is Trump doesn't drink or smoke or do anything, and he hasn't forever. So I don't know what it would be like hanging with him, in a social setting where you don't have drinks with him or whatever, where you're just like, all right,
I'd bring Gavin McInnes probably.
He'd be rad. Gavin, that's a great one.
They would get along.
Yeah.
We could all talk shit.
Yeah.
Drinks.
Yeah. He would be a great one, actually.
Yeah. He'd be fun.
We're hoping to have him on the show. Gavin McInnes would be great.
That's a big hope.
Yeah. That would be a good one.
We're in talks.
I think Joe Rogan would be fun to have there. I don't know if he's into has he ever come out and said who he votes for politically?
He definitely says that he's left, but not super far left. He's moderate.
Okay.
So he doesn't love. I don't think he would.
I think he'd be able to separate it though of the
would.
funness and the ridiculousness of it.
Would.
I think he would be a fun person to have there.
Yeah. As long as he got his workout in and their food was up to
meal
his,
prepped,
meal prepped, and
or if he could go back and
cook it,
cook
would be
it.
super fun. Yeah.
Yeah. I think he'd be a good time because he'd be getting high in the White House.
Callan would be fun.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's a handful of people where I'm like, but surprisingly, not a lot jump out at me where I'm like, oh, cool. I would want to go with so and so because I think a lot of people would take it too seriously. Going to the White House and they're like, oh, we're in the White House. We're in the White House.
You should take it a little serious.
A little bit. But a friend of mine was just there. Two friends of ours, actually from Range 15, were there.
Oh.
And Jack Mandeville was there. And his biggest dream is a funny story, actually.
He would be fun to take.
He would be. His biggest dream would be there's a bowling alley in the White House. Did you know this?
No, but I figured.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know, and I think
figured they have everything.
I want to say it was Harry Truman or somebody put it in there. But so this bowling alley's been in the White House, and all he wanted to do was bowl at the White House. And so he talked about it. I just want to go one game of bowling, and they were like, look, you can do it. It was noon on an off day at the White House. It was a Wednesday or something. Nobody's bowling in there or whatever. Yeah. And so they told him he could bowl the entire time. And if we have him on the show, we'll have him tell the story. But so he gets there, and at the last second, they were like, oh my gosh, we're really sorry. Somebody reserved it, and they're bowling in there, so you don't get to bowl.
Jesus.
Yeah. So cut to 4 or 5 hours later, Tim Kennedy, who was also in Range 15, also one of his good friends, posts a picture, and he's like, hey, at the White House, and just bowling down at the White House. Pretty amazing. It was Tim who they had shut the bowling alley down for, and he didn't know Tim was there, or else he could have just gone in and bowled with his buddy.
What?
Yeah. They were there at the same exact time, both doing different things.
That's crazy.
And yeah.
How do you not know your buddies at the White House?
Well, how would you know? Because it's not one of those things that you could broadcast.
Go to the fucking
of
White
like,
House, dude. Yeah, I guess. Maybe.
Well, because I think there's still some form of secrecy to it, isn't there? Do you just say, hey, I'm going to the White House tomorrow? I'm going to be up in the White House tomorrow. Are you allowed to say that? I don't know what the rules are.
I think so. Not you're like bringing a bomb or a gun or anything, but you're going. Yeah, what's wrong with that? It's all fucking publicity stunts anyways. What are they there for? To have some political talk?
I don't know what it is, because inside the White House, like, I guess it holds such a mystique to me personally, and like a mystery about it, with a Lincoln bedroom and all that shit. It's hard for me to imagine they just let people walk around all day, and like the president lives there. So like, is that part sealed off? Is what I want to know. Like, is that sealed off? You can't probably just look in his fucking bedroom,
so
right? So
what I hear about the way that this White House is different than others, like I think that's how it used to be. But from reporters that have gone there, they're saying that it's very alive. Like Pence will just pop in, Trump is walking around, right. Melania, like during interviews. Whereas before with Obama, it was how you're saying,
very
where it's like very
and,
closed off. Like if there's people here, it's more like a museum aspect. You never see meetings. You never see it actually being like an office.
Right.
And they said this administration is very alive. Like it's like things are happening, things are working. There's not super secretive and closed off. They're very much like, hey, here's the paperwork, here's the thing. Like,
right.
So I think that's probably what you would see in this one. Melania is popping in. Can I leave? Can I leave? This house is disgusting.
Can I go to New York?
It's the fucking White House.
Yeah. Can I go back to New York?
Can I go back to New York? This house is disgusting.
Yeah. It's weird.
It would be different. I think it would be cool like that.
One of my dream houses to go to was Graceland, where Elvis was. And when I got there, because I had kind of, well, he's dead, obviously. So I pictured
Elvis.
Yes.
Oh.
I know, weird. A lot of people still keep spotting him, but he's dead, Japes. But when I got there, I was expecting like, oh man, he's dead. I'll get to go in every room and do the whole shit, sit on the bed and whatever. And it wasn't like that. You go.
Yeah, it's like a museum. Yeah.
Yes, but the rooms are roped off, so you can't walk into the rooms themselves. Yeah. You kind of you're at the doorway. You're kind of jammed up next to other people taking pictures of things. Everything is kind of preserved. And I want to see the toilet he died on. They won't let you in there. And they won't let you up to his bedroom either.
Do you think you used to be able to, and then like
no,
we ruined everything and make everything so fucking crowded?
I heard a rumor that she was living there for a long time, and
Priscilla,
I guess. But I don't know. And then the next rumor I heard was, since he died on the toilet, everybody wanted to go up there and see it and see the fucking thing. And
again, ruined it for everyone.
Ruined it for everyone. But I was surprised how closed off it was, where I was like, I got to see it and I got to go in and, take pictures and all that stuff. But I kind of wanted to go through the house a little more.
Right.
They had his planes out back and you could go on the plane and take some pictures and stuff like that. But like, I wanted to go through the house a little more and whatever. And it was surprisingly smaller than I thought. Elvis's house. Yeah. And Memphis is definitely, it's not in a nice part of town anymore, where you're just like, some of that mystique is gone, where you're like, oh, because like, I remember, I think it was with my sister, I believe, was there, and she was just like, oh, this is where this is, and this is what.
Gross.
Yeah. And like, it wasn't in the super nicest part of town, and you're just like, this is, was Elvis rich? And you're like, yes, Elvis was rich. Like,
yeah,
Jesus, man, towns change, cities change.
Yeah.
But yeah, strange how these museums or houses and all that stuff is kind of preserved, and or why, and how people treat it. One of the most interesting stories I heard was actually when Bill Paxton passed away. He was on Mark Maron a couple weeks before, and he talked about wanting to do this mini series on JFK. And the family. That never ended up coming to fruition, and they were going to show you the real shit that nobody's heard about or talked about or whatever. And
which is a really bold statement, by the way. Like, what is something that we don't know about
something
them?
that we don't know? So and that's, and luckily Mark Maron had asked this, but it was the aspect of or the one thing where it was when he died, they had his body inside the White House, and they showed that.
Right.
They showed that in the Natalie Portman movie, the Jackie. And they showed part of that where the body's there and they're doing the
they
stuff.
didn't make it seem like he was just sitting there while they were partying, though.
Yes. And Bill Paxton had told a story where they had an Irish wake and that the entire family was getting absolutely fucking hammered all night long with his body in the room. And they said the only person that wasn't drinking but had a drink in her hand was the mom. And she was just sitting there stone cold. And
so the series would be about that like night or
the
movie or something.
The events surrounding the death and what happened with the body, what they did afterwards, and all that other stuff. And that's what I found interesting about that Natalie Portman movie, where I always wondered what she did afterwards.
Because you're like, they're like, see ya.
Yeah.
Like, he's dead.
So it kind of gave me a new perspective of like, oh, all right.
Yeah, that movie was really good in that way. Where
yeah,
you're like,
and you saw the new president coming in. They're changing all the shit in the White House,
and,
they're changing everything.
Sorry for your loss. We need you out in 5 days.
Yeah, you got to get the fuck out of here. And I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah.
But I would have been really curious to see that movie because I like hearing these unknown stories or ththings that went on, and I wish. The White House or the Elvis house, like I wish they had little stories like that where, because Elvis, you take the tour and, you put the headset on. They gave you this headset to put on when you go through the Elvis house. And it's like a Walkman, essentially. I don't know what it is today. This is like, I think I went about 10 or 12 years ago. And
they do that at the Frida Kahlo house too.
Oh yeah, you big Frida Kahlo fan?
Yeah.
Really?
Well, she was a weird motherfucker, and I went to her house in Mexico.
Oh,
and
really?
It's the same way. It's like a museum, and they have all her art and her weird like wheelchair and her braces that she had to wear, but they have them all displayed, and you walk through again. Like I was saying, we ruin everything, so there's roped off, and you can't like really see anything or really feel like you're in the house, but it's pretty fucking rad. Like she was like my mom, and like there's just weird shit everywhere, but it's like it's an artistic house, right?
Sure,
so
yeah.
It's like bright blue, and the yard's amazing, and you're just like hanging out in Frida Kahlo's house, but it's a museum.
All right.
So anyway, go ahead. So you had the headphones. You were in Memphis.
Yeah, you go to they but the stories they tell you when you put the headphones on are like boring stories about Elvis, where it's just like you want to hear. Man, Elvis was in a 3-way in this room over here.
Yeah.
There was Coke all over the table, and it was a fucking blast.
Yeah.
And you want to hear, like, that's the shit you really want to hear. Where you're just like, yeah.
That would be sweet, like the underground. You can do, like, the normal family tour.
Or you pay extra to do the underground tour. Because I'm sure it's the same way at the White House, because, they lead you around and tell you the history of the rooms and all that shit. I think you should be able to pay an extra fee to get to hear the party stories where it was like, man, JFK was getting shot up with B-12 shots while he was banging Marilyn Monroe in this room.
And Jackie was decorating over here, pretending not to hear it.
Yeah. She was decorating the Christmas tree. Yeah. Like
here we are.
That's the real shit that you want to hear as a fan or an audience member.
That would make it more interesting because I fucking hate all that shit, museum shit. Boring as fuck.
Well, it's funny. I'm the worst. I'm the worst in like art museums.
Yeah.
I don't go to.
Do you want to go see the new exhibit? Yeah. I used to pretend to like that, and I would just be like, oh.
For what?
I know.
Like ex-boyfriends and shit, where you're like, oh
just whatever. Or in LA, like there's certain things. Oh, did you see that exhibit? No, I'd love to.
Yeah.
And then you go, and you're just like, this is
so fucking boring. Yeah.
Or like history museums. Like you probably like it, but I'm just like, oh.
No, I'm the same way where it's like
the arrowhead, like that was used in the. I don't. Cool.
There was one that was cool. Was like the Smithsonian. The Smithsonian was cool. Where you're like,
but isn't it just like a grandiose, amazing building, right? Like
it is. It's gorgeous, but you get to see like real shit where you're like, oh man, I didn't know that they still had that. Like the Wright brothers playing and things like that, where you're just like, shit, that's. I
used to think it made me sound dumb. It probably does still, but I just like. I'm not going to pretend to like be into that.
Yeah. I will say this. There was a fun event the other night that looked like it was a blast where I was like, oh shit, that would be dope.
What?
They had a fundraiser at the Louvre in Paris.
Yeah.
And Jennifer Aniston and all of them were there. A bunch of celebrities were there.
Oh yeah, when they do that shit.
Well, here's the thing. They closed down the Louvre and you got to like you were having like drinks and partying and you could take selfies with the Mona Lisa and it was like only super rich like fucking famous people can do that shit.
White people ruin everything.
But I was like, man, I'd kind of like to do that.
That'd be
sweet. The dopest selfie of all time.
Like that's when I would be like, yeah,
inside the Louvre,
I'll go
taking
to a museum.
selfies with the Mona Lisa. Like that would be rad.
But like taking an afternoon to like check out the new exhibit.
Yeah.
No,
I can't get down with it. I'm with you on that.
Okay,
I'm with you on that. All right, kids. This is the point in the show where we get to the revolutionary figure of the week.
Oh.
This one goes out to John Plumb Jr.
Plumb.
In 1946, he took the first picture of the White House. So he was the first photographer who took a photograph of the White House.
Wow.
So way to go, John. Proud of you. Proud of your whole shit, John. You learn something new every day.
You really do. And it's fascinating.
But I will say this. When I was looking this up, because I knew we were going to talk about the White House today, when I was looking up, like, oh, hey, who took the first ever picture of the White House? The news and the way everything is slanted now these days, they were like, he was an immigrant. We just want to let you know that an immigrant took the first photo of the White House. And it was like, hey, man, in the 1800s.
Statistically, that makes...
Statistically, everybody was kind of an immigrant back then. Like, it was also, 175 years. Like, nobody's really coming over on boats of hardship anymore. So you don't really have to try. It was an immigrant.
I don't want to say that.
Who did it?
We don't want to say that.
What, is there?
Well, from Cuba, right? That's
not a thing anymore.
Not anymore. Not anymore. But
Obama passed a.
We don't want to say that nobody's coming over in boats of hardship anymore.
Yeah, but Obama passed the but
that was.
They're not. So it's that is shut down. So
right.
that does not exist anymore.
All right.
And obviously immigration policies have gotten stricter, so that does not exist anymore.
Yeah.
So we're shutting that shit down.
Yeah.
Also, you go to RossPattersonRevolution.com, get yourself some sweet teas, some tri-blends. We got those for sale. And if you want to send some weird shit in the P.O. box, go to...
We've gotten some awesome
some awesome shit. Dude, somebody sent us some chips and salsa for the Jablers.
Yeah, from Julio's. I'm very excited.
Yes. The leggings. You got some sweet Ohio State Buckeye leggings.
Blair Castle did that.
Castle? Yeah.
You did it, girl. And then who was the chips and salsa?
I don't know, but it was Julio's.
I'm gonna call you.
And it was from I want to say El Paso, Texas, somewhere in Texas, I believe.
I'm gonna give you a shout out on the next one. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but it's the jam, and we can't wait to tear those open.
Yeah, dude.
Tonight. Yes, but it's P.O. Box. Go to P.O. Box 3793. You can send everything to the Ross Patterson Revolution, P.O. Box 3793, Wilmington, North Carolina, 28406. Great show.
Yeah,
Kid
fun.
Rock. I want to party with Kid Rock one day.
Me too, man.
I want to party with Kid Rock one day.
Invitation.
Hopefully we get to go to the White House, Jables. For Jesse Wiseman, a.k.a. the Jablers, I am Ross Patterson. This is The Revolution. We are out of here. Good night, everyone.
Good night.